everyone. Welcome to our second session. Thank you all for joining. As a reminder of what we did last class, we learned about how comics are created, and we all created our own comic character avatar. Some of you have already started adding different facial expressions to your avatars, and that leads us to today's theme, which is drawing comic expressions. Now, what are comic expressions? Before I explain that, have you ever used emojis? Yes, face emojis are a simple way of showing emotions. Comic expressions are looks on a character's face that show their emotions and sometimes even personalities. The facial expressions of different comic characters are very important for telling the story of a comic. Drawing expressions for my characters are my favorite part of making comics. There are so many different expressions to choose from, and they make my comics so much funnier. Here you can see two examples of expression sheets. The one on the left is a simple black and white style, and the one on the right is a more detailed and colorful style. But both of them clearly show the character's expressions. Here are some expressions I drew of myself when I was 12. You can see here on the slides, for example, me sighing, shocked, angry, yelling, laughing, crying, etc. Now I will explain and show you examples of the most common expressions. First, we have the most common expression, showing happiness by smiling or laughing. You can see there are many example images on the slides. And if a character is content, you can see, like for this character with the pink hair, their mouth will curve upward. If a character is happy, their eyes will be open or a little bit curved, and their mouth will also be open or curved. If they're super happy or laughing, their eyes will definitely be curled and their mouth will be wide open, and they may even have some tears coming out if they're laughing so hard. A tip if you want to show facial expressions in comics, it's mostly the eyebrows, eyes, and mouth that changes. The nose and ears will stay the same. If you, for example, get a mirror and observe your face and make different expressions while looking in the mirror, you will notice that. Sometimes artists will change a little bit of the hairstyle to match the character's emotion. So here you can see this is a drawing of me and my sister. We are both happy and our hair is flowing. Another example of hair changing to match the character's emotion is when the character is angry. Their hair will get a little messy or will puff up. Now let's see how an angry expression looks like. Also, annoyed is included. So if a character is annoyed, their eyebrows will go down a bit into a V shape and their mouth will curve downwards. If the character starts to get angry, their eyebrows will be in a V shape and their mouth will be open if they're yelling. If the character is super angry, as you can see in this example image, their hair will puff up, their teeth will show, their eyes will be wide open, and they will have small pupils. In this example image, you can see only the eyes of a character, but it shows anger very well because the eyebrows are in a V shape and their eyes are wide open and they have small pupils. Next, we have nervous and scared. If a character is nervous, their eyes are wide open and they will have small pupils, as you can see in all of these images. Their eyebrows will go down into an upside down V shape, and their mouth can be wavy. If a character is scared, it will be the same as nervous. So, like for example, their eyes wide open and their eyebrows going down. But then they'll also have some shivering, have some dark circles under their eyes. Their mouth could be open and they can have some drops of sweat coming out. The drops of sweat reminds me of tears. You guessed it, The next one is sadness and crying. If a character is sad, their eyebrows will go down into an upside down V shape. Their eyes can look down or they can be closed, and when their eyes are closed, it will be a bit like an upside down U shape. Their mouth will curve downwards. And if a character is crying, obviously tears will come out of their eyes, and their eyes will be squeezed or open with large and shiny pupils, as you can see here with this character. And the character can have an open mouth. And here you can see there are different types of sadnesses. So look on the example images. This character looks like they're having a headache, and this character looks like they're having happy tears. This character looks frustrated and yelling while crying. This character is crying because they're scared, and this is an example of regret. What expression do we have next? I can't think of anything. It's surprised. Okay, so if a character is surprised, their eyes will be wide open, their mouth will also be wide open, and their eyebrows will be shot up, so very high up on their face. There can be expression marks around the characters to show that they are surprised, and their hands can cover their mouths. What's this expression? I'm so confused. I can't figure out what it is. It's confused. So when the character is confused, their eyebrows will go down, and they can have a big question mark or many tiny question marks above their heads. Their eyes can be like swirly, like in this example, and they can be like some scribbles on their head to show that they're having a bit of a headache after being so confused. Okay, I've talked so much. I'm feeling a little sleepy or tired. When a character is tired, their eyes will be half closed. They will have dark circles under their eyes. Their eyebrows will be tilted a bit downwards, and they will have messy hair, and they can even be yawning. When a character is yawning, their eyes will be closed, their mouth will be open, and their hand will be near their mouth. Our last expression is my favorite, which is silly. You can draw this expression as crazy as you want, but here are some general guidelines. When a character is silly, their eyes will be wide open, like in all of these examples. Their pupil will be towards the middle of their face or in random directions. This is so funny. The characters can show their teeth or even tongue, and they can even have big nostrils. Hopefully, you found it fun to look through some of the examples of different expressions. There are many, many more, and artists even combine emotions, but the ones I showed you are the most basic expressions to get you started. Today, we will each draw ourselves with 4 different expressions. You can use the avatar you created last class as your character. Before you start, I will show you the steps. This is an example of me with different expressions. First, I used a pencil to lightly sketch out the panels and my character in the 4 panels. Then, I traced my drawings and erased the pencil lines. I didn't use a ruler to draw the panel grids, but I suggest you use a ruler so it looks more clean. Here are the expressions I chose. For the first one, I chose a laughing expression, so you can see my eyes are squeezed and my mouth is open, and some tears are even coming out because I'm laughing so much. The second expression is a mix of boredom, being annoyed, and maybe being a little bit tired. So you can see one of my eyebrows are raised, my eyes are kind of closed, like half open, and I'm sighing out, like. This expression is me being very angry. So you can see my eyebrows are in a downward V shape, my teeth are showing, my eyes are open with a small pupil, and I'm clenching my fist. There is even a little bit of fire in the background to show how angry I am. The last one, I chose an expression of me adoring something. So being like, oh, so cute. You can see my pupils are big and shiny, and I have some tears coming out and a little heart. One tip I have for you when you are trying to draw an expression is to make that expression in the mirror and observe your facial features. For example, your eyebrows, your eyes, your mouth. Finally, I added some color both on my character and on the background. Notice how I also use some symbols and lines to show the emotions even more. In the first example, you can see some tears coming out, and these zigzag lines show that I'm laughing very loud. The second one, there's this dot 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 to represent maybe a bit of silence, and this puff of air to show that I'm sighing, like, huh. The third one, there's a fire in the background, and I also added this little scribble and some wavy lines like next to my fist to show that I'm clenching them very tight and shaking a little. And the last one, there's a little heart and a bit of tears. It's drawing time.